Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Mr. Dr. Kaharuddin S.I.P. M.Hum as my lecture of Introduction to Linguistics and all of you guys. I am Ismail Mubarak from English Education Department Class A 2021, Tarbiyah and Teaching Science Faculty, Aladdin State Islamic University of Makassar. Here I have 7 questions and I will explain my answer on this video. And this question is about communication and language in human social life, also language and linguistics. So let's get started. The first question is, do you agree with saying that it is important to learn linguistics at the Department of English Language Education? Why? Explain your answer. Well, I do agree with it. Learned linguistics at English Education Department is really important to prepare student college as a language teacher in the future. Because linguistics is a knowledge which can guide a language teacher to act effectively, and an effective language teacher really needs linguistics, which is provide him knowledge of language to enable him teaching a language effectively. In language teaching context, a language teacher must have a right decision and 2 things, namely decision about what to teach and how to teach. The right decision on the 2 things can be made when the language teacher has knowledge of linguistic views. That's why it is important to learn linguistics at English Education Department. Well, the next question. To understand linguistics, we firstly need to know the fundamental concept of language and communication. Do you agree with that? Why? Well, definitely I do agree. Our understanding of communication and language terms at least serve as the basis of understanding what linguistics is. Because communication and language are related to one another. So if we want to know more about linguistics, we will firstly know the fundamental concept about understanding of communication and language. Well, we will move to the next question. What is communication? And how many communication systems do you humans have? Explain your answer. Communication may be defined as an interactive process of sending symbol or message through a particular medium and mode from a sender to a receiver. As I stated earlier, that humans communicate by using symbols. With these symbols, they are able to produce an unlimited number of messages. The ability of humans using the symbol to communicate is demonstrated in 3 ways. Namely, the first is communication message by using words in speech, which is produced when we are speaking like a conversation with other people. The second is communication message using symbol in writing. In writing is as a tool to communicate humans' abstract idea and emotion by using coherent signs or symbols in the form of text, like write a letter and chatting on social media. The third is communication information using symbol in gestures. Gesture is recognized as a non-verbal or vocal communication system in which part of human body, such as fingers, hand, and face, are used to communicate. Well, the next question. What types of knowledge do people have that they can produce their speeches in their social interaction? Explain your answer. Well, humans must have three types of linguistic knowledge in order to be able to produce speech. That is, linguistic of semantical rules, knowledge of syntactical rules, as well as knowledge of phonological rules. But what is that? Well, I will explain it. The first, knowledge of semantical rules, refers to the knowledge that a speaker has to be able to formulate the meaning in his mind to be conveyed. In psycholinguistics, such knowledge is also referred to as abstract ideas, intention, or concept. The knowledge of semantical affected by several rules such as the speaker decision about what to say, fact about the situation, and understanding of how communication works by considering specific aspects of message need to be highlighted. Well, the second is knowledge of syntactical rules. It refers to a speaker's skill of putting together the properties of language, that is, lexical and grammatical property that will express his abstract concept, meaning in mind. This process of converting meaning or concept into sentence by using a lexical or grammatical property is also known as formulation. Formulation commonly takes place when the speaker has the following syntactical knowledge, that is, knowledge of lemmas, knowledge of lexemes hereinafter, and knowledge of grammatical encoding. Well, the last, knowledge of phonological rules, refers to the skill of allowing the lemmas to be linked to the lexemes, which have been conceptually constructed into sentence structures, is converted into appropriate sound sequence to express the message or articulation. ISB 2009 further suggests that phonological rules in general have the following characteristic, among other things. Phonological rules are intuitive, untaught, and unconscious, language specificity, and language productivity. Well, next question. What is language? Explain the definition by considering its fundamental properties. Well, the first I will explain about the fundamental properties. There are some fundamental properties of language. That is, language is a method or a system of communication. And the second is language is used by humans. The third is language function to communicate meanings or message from a thought and feelings. And the fourth, as the last, language is constructed from a conventionalized elements or symbols such as sounds, words, sentence, and meanings. Having considered all of the fundamental properties of language as described above, language may be defined as a method or a system of communication used by humans to communicate meanings or message from thought and feeling, which is constructed from conventionalized elements or symbols such as sounds, words, phrase, sentence, and meanings. Well, the next question. According to Frankim v. Redman R. and Hyman N. 2003, there are at least 3 theories suggested to describe the origin of language. What theory are they, and what do you know about the theories? Explain your answer. Well, according to the M.Hum v. Redmond R. and Humans and 2003, there are at least 3 theories suggested to describe the origin of language. That is, the theory of divine origin, the theory of evolutionary development, and the theory of language as a human invention. The theory of divine origin. What is that? This theory, which is many societies from the past to the present whose people have a religions, believe that language is God's gift to mankind. The second, the theory of evolutionary development. This theory believes that a language is a result of gradual change in human communication system over time from gesture to complex speech. In other words, is that the language of the world evolves spontaneously and they are not given and designed by anything. And the last theory is the theory of language as a human invention. According to Taylor T.G. 1997, the most influential expert of this theory is Cadillac. 1947, Cadillac believed that only humans have language. The possession of language gives humans a special characteristic which makes them different from animals. Well, the last question. What is the relationship between language and linguistics? Explain your answer. Language and linguistics are 2 different words, but there are a relationship between them. Language, as we know that, is a method or a system of communication used by humans to communicate meanings or a message from thought and feelings, which is constructed from conventional elements or symbols such as sounds, words, phrase, sentence, and meanings. But linguistics is a scientific study of language. In fact, the goal of linguistics is to describe languages. Language is the object of linguistic study, so linguistics and language are related to each other. Well, that's all about my answer for these 7 questions. And I'm so sorry for my mistake because I'm still studying. Hope you're always healthy, guys. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.